Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live transfer news video. And I'm hoping this live stream my Wi-Fi doesn't crumble, because oh my god, when I watched back my last live stream I didn't realize how fucking pixelated it was, and I almost deleted it, and then I was just like, you know what, it's just gonna have to deal with it. But we are back with another transfer news live stream on Shit Internet, Talks United, Alice Talks Football, whatever you want to call my channel. We are back, and in today's video we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be discussing the board. You know, we've signed Sancho and Varane, but is that good enough? Is the board a joke? Why can we not sell players like Phil Jones and Jesse Lingard when Chelsea and Arsenal can sell their deadwood? And I'm pretty sure Arsenal's spending the most money this transfer window, nearly £150 million on shit, and they can still, they can still sell players, and I'm pretty sure they've got a worse board than us. Maybe not. We'll be discussing Lingard's future, Phil Jones's future, the loan deals for Pereira, why were Mata and Grant given new deals. We'll be discussing, has things really changed, just besides Sancho and Varane, but has things really changed? We're going to be talking about Tchouaméni. Fabrizio Romano's give us an update on Tchouaméni, and we'll also be talking about CAMAVINGA. Will Manchester United sign another player this window? Samuel Larkus of the Manchester Evening News says there will be no more signings. Will we sign a midfielder or not? Will we sell anyone this window, and more? So guys, make sure you hit that like button, and of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. We are exactly 20 subscribers away from 16.3k, so if we can hit that by the end of the live stream, hopefully, please do. Hair's already bugging me this video, but please do subscribe. News in that Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been charged with driving his Lamborghini while disqualified and without insurance. The maximum penalty for driving while disqualified can be 6 months. 6 months in prison. We will discuss that later on in the live stream. It's not been a good day for United. It's not been a good day. Aaron Wan-Bissaka in trouble, but you know what? The last time Aaron Wan-Bissaka got in a lot of trouble, guess what? He pocketed Neymar and Mbappe. It doesn't seem to affect his performance. My throat is already gone 2 minutes into live stream. Are you joking me? Alexander says we can sell James Garton and Matic, Lingard and Pereira. We can, but our board won't. And the problem with that is we give too high wages, so they know these players want to stay at Manchester United, because they know if they leave, they're not going to get the wages they get. You know, Pereira could take a wage cut and leave. You know, Daniel James ain't going to get anywhere near what he earns at Man United if he goes to somewhere like another club. That's the problem with United. We give players ridiculously high wages. I'm pretty sure Phil Jones earns the same amount as Harry Kane, so... You know, but actually talking of news, let me get into the news and then I will interact with a lot of the live chats. But Nick Morris says that Pereira has gone on loan to Flamengo. Garner is going out on loan. Mata and Matic are staying. James is staying. Sounds like Lingard will stay now as well. And this is exactly what we'll be talking about. He also followed up by United will not be making any more signings this summer, having made 3 signings they planned for Heaton, Varane and Sancho. And we did plan to bring in a midfielder, but the situation is if we don't sell any players, and it doesn't look like we will be selling any players, will Man United go ahead and sign a midfielder, guys? So get your comments down below in the live chat. Make sure you are subscribed. Of course, 20 subscribers away from 16.3k and all of that. But let me get right into the news. Let me get right into what has been said. So I want to start off with a little bit of transfer news, and I am going to read out your live chats in just a sec. So I've got 3 main transfer points I'm going to quickly get through before I actually talk to you guys about some topics. But Fabrizio Romano today said that Manchester United are currently not working to sign Orion Tchouaméni from AS Monaco this summer. No talks or direct contact as of now have been made. Same for Tolisso. So Fabrizio Romano has confirmed we're not in for Tolisso and we're not in for Tchouaméni. So the Tchouaméni news that came out yesterday, Fabrizio Romano says nothing's going on. So unless something happens in the next week or so, don't believe anything you hear on Tchouaméni. And Samuel Larkus of the Manchester Evening News, who again said what Fabrizio Romano said this morning about Tchouaméni, saying we're not interested, say that Manchester United are unlikely to make any more summer signings. However, a little bit of positive news from Laurie Whitwell with The Athletic, saying that Manchester United have offered Paul Pogba a proposal as much as £400k a week to stay at Manchester United to 2025, but he's yet to respond, and that's pretty obvious. I think Pogba's going to wait a couple of weeks, see how his season goes, see how United's season goes before he responds. But United make Pogba a massive offer. United might not make any more signings. Lingard might stay, but that is a little bit of the news coming in, and Wan-Bissaka getting in a bit of trouble. Now, Jeremy says idiots wouldn't have managed to bring in 2 world-class players in one window. And the transfer window is still open for a few more weeks, so anything could happen. As for now, it looks good. We're good. I think we've made 2 great signings, but I think what the frustrating thing for me is Lingard hasn't been sold. Pereira went out on loan. You know, we couldn't sell Pereira. We could only get a loan deal. We can't sell Lingard. We still can't sell Phil Jones. Matt is given a 1-year new contract to do fuck all. Lee Grant's been given a 1-year new contract to do fuck all. Like, why? Like, we should be getting rid of all these players. In an ideal world, you would have sold Daniel James for £15 million, Jesse Lingard for £25 million, which would have raised £40 million, which you would have invested in a decent CDM. You'd also be getting Pereira out for about £10 million. You'd also, so that would be 50 million. You'd also making sure Phil Jones was out of the club, terminating his contract. You wouldn't be giving Mata new deals. You wouldn't be giving Lee Grant new deals. You'd be going, you know what, I want to give the youngsters a chance. You've had your chance. You're not going to add anything. You know, the club was talking about selling Donny van de Beek and Martial way before they're talking about selling Phil Jones. Like, that is the sad situation we're in. And that's why, yes, we signed Sancho. Yes, we signed Varane, but we are still run by idiots. Okay, maybe Murtough's an improvement on Woodward, but anyone's an improvement on Woodward. My mum doesn't know anything about football. She could probably do a better job than Woodward. I'll just tell her to sign. But just the way that we're run, I think there's a lot of false hope that because we signed Sancho, because we signed Varane, it's going to be different. We've got a sporting director in the Glazers apologised. We've got Sancho Varane. Things are going to be different. And I tell you what, unless we sign a CDM, I don't believe things will be different because it's the same old Manchester United every window. We make 2 good signings. With that 3rd signing away from completing our transfer window, we know Ollie wanted a midfielder, a centre-back and a right winger, but they don't get that 3rd and final signing because they don't want to spend the money. Glazernomics, Glazernomics, Glazernomics. That's what it is. Too much deadwood at this club, and this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Way too much deadwood at Manchester United. Chelsea getting 30-40 million for Tammy Abraham. Arsenal getting nearly 30 million for Joe Willock. And for some reason, we can't even get 20 million for Jesse Lingard, who was one of the best players for the last 5-6 months in the Premier League. It's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke that we can't sell players. Andrew says it's crazy how Chelsea can sell Abraham for 40 million and Arsenal will it for 25. Always abysmal at selling. Wages aren't the only impotent. Clubs know that they can mess us about, and that's a very, very strong point there from Andrew. Alvin says, what is the point of signing Heaton? We also signed Paul McShane as in July as a player coach for the 23s because United are a little bit clueless. We're a little bit clueless. I think like signing Heaton wasn't bad, but then when you sign Heaton and give Lee Grant a 1-year extension, what's the point? Because it doesn't look like De Gea or Dean Henderson are going anywhere this window. So if you were planning on selling De Gea and Dean Henderson, then you bring Heaton as a backup. But I don't understand it. I don't understand giving Lee Grant a new 1-year deal if you've got Heaton, Henderson and De Gea. You don't need 4 goalkeepers. Every club has 3. Doesn't make sense for me. And all of that. Niall Kane said that they said that before they ended up making signings, it guessworks in my opinion. Yeah, Man United do have to sell to make signings and all of that. And Niall Kane says the owners of Shambles couldn't run a Bath, never mind a football club, and you're absolutely correct with that. Our owners probably couldn't run a Bath. They'd probably walk downstairs, start counting their money, they'd walk up and the Bath would bloody flood. They'd be like, oh no, why is the floor all wet? Because they're idiots. The stream isn't being shit on me today, which is good. Guys, please do make sure you hit that like button and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. I'm really hoping to see if we can hit 16.3k before the end of the live stream. So we are 20 subscribers off that. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, guys. Yash says we need a CDM. Yash, and you are 100% correct. We know we need a CDM. And the worrying thing is I sit here and I think, okay, I know we need a CDM. You know we need a CDM. Surely Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick, and Mike Phelan must sit there and go, United need a CDM. Like, Dave Vlog says a different opinion to me. He says, you're a United fan and you're calling us a disgrace. We won 5-1. How are we a disgrace? And I'm normally a positive United fan, but today the news has come out that we're not going to be signing any players. Pereira goes out on loan and we're not selling him permanently. Lingard might not go. Phil Jones might not go. You know, we've given Mata and Lee Grant 1-year new extensions. We've kept Dan James around for another season. We're keeping Lingard around, who we're not going to use. We've still got Phil Jones at the club, and we couldn't even sell Pereira permanently. It's not that I'm calling Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the club. It's like the players a disgrace. And because, you know, the players were the reason we won 5-1. I'm calling the board, the owners, a disgrace. Yes, we signed Sancho and Varane, but we should be selling players. And this is our chance to win the league. If we are I saw this tweet on Twitter. If Man United are 1-2 points away from winning a league, and we sitting at the end of the season go, oh, if we signed a CDM, we would have won the league. We could be sitting here in May time going, we were 1 point off winning the Premier League, and that was because we didn't have a DM. That was our weakness all season. You know, this CDM could be the difference between another failure of a season and winning the league. Now, I don't think it's going to be a failure of the season, but I don't think we're going to win the Premier League or the Champions League. And as a United fan, I want us to win the Premier League or the Champions League. It's pronounced CHOUAMENI. I keep getting told how it's pronounced, and I kind of know how it's pronounced, but I don't know how it's pronounced. But thank you for that. Is our transfer business done? Well, Samuel Lucas from the Manchester Evening News, a Tier 2 journalist, says that it's likely that the transfer business for this summer is done, which is obviously a shame. The board is a disgrace, not us. That is what Yash says, and I completely agree with that. Good evening from Mauritius. Yeah, let me know in the live chat, guys. Where are you watching for? It's going to be really interesting to see where everybody is watching for in the live chat. Lewandowski leaving Bayern. Is this true? I haven't heard any of this Lewandowski leaving Bayern, but let me know if you hear any more about this. Alice, does it help more if you are a British Deadwood? Probably, considering that we still can't sell Pereira, but then Phil Jones and Lingard haven't left, so we're not getting CDM. We're not getting a CDM unless we sell a few first-team players, and it looks like we're not going to sell a few first-team players, which is a shame. The only CDM we'll get is CAMAVINGA if CAMAVINGA chooses to go to Manchester United, but the way it's looking, it doesn't look like CAMAVINGA is going to choose us. I think our only chance of making a third signing is someone crap on deadline day that we're like, that's a bit pointless, or CAMAVINGA decides he wants to go to Manchester United. Other than that, I can't see us signing another player. Quality is better in today's live stream. It is. And all of that. Alice doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you very much for the chat. And guys, please do subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new to the channel. 20 subscribers away from 16.3K. Andrew says, club executives don't respect United's board and executives. It's not just wages, as some players would take a pay cut, but other executives know that they can mess us about. And that is true. A lot of people knew with Ed Woodward, you could mug off United. Like, we were the team paying, and it's not even just about selling players. We were the team paying £80 million for Harry Maguire. You know, Arsenal have been mugged off a bit this window. Arsenal spent nearly 150 million on crap. But United can get mugged off because we're always the team overpaying for players. We're always the team getting mugged off. You know, in the transfer window, we are a failure a lot of the time. 50 million for Fred, 80 million for Maguire. And I think, you know, okay, Tammy Abraham had high wages, but Chelsea managed to sell him. Joe Willock didn't have that high wages. He managed to go to Newcastle. But I don't think, as Andrew says, I think it's hard to sell players like Phil Jones, Jesse Lingard and Pereira because they're never going to get the wages like elsewhere that they get at Manchester United. But Pereira was willing to take a wage cut to leave Manchester United. But Flamengo said, look, we're not going to pay the money for him. We'll give you a loan deal, but we aren't going to pay the money for him. And teams know with United that they do a lot of loan deals. Dalot, we almost did a loan deal for Dalot. Dalot's good enough to be back up to Wan-Bissaka. I don't know why we're looking to get Trippier when we can keep Dalot. Like, this club almost loaned out Dalot just to waste 20, 30 million pounds on a 31-year-old Kieran Trippier. Like, that's how stupid. This club gave Lee Grant a new one-year deal, even though we've got Henderson, De Gea, and Heaton all ahead of us. Why? Because this club is run by morons. Manchester United isn't disgraced, but Manchester United's owners are disgraced because we like to sit here and we like to think Murtough, director of football, lots of apologies. We signed Sancho, we signed Varane. This club's going in a new direction. And you know what? Maybe this club is going in a new direction. For all I know, we might go and sell a load of players and sign a world-class CDM, but it doesn't look like that, does it? I think the situation is we are looking more and more likely to ending the transfer window with no more signings, no midfield signing, but actually still having Phil Jones as a player at the club. Andres Perez is still technically a player at the club because he only got a loan deal. Still having Jesse Lingard on over 100k a week and leaving him on the bench. Like, that's the situation we could be in. Glazers have not learned anything. I mean, the Glazers are stupid. And guys, make sure you do hit that like button. Let's go for 150 likes before the end of the live stream. We've got 120 people watching, so please do hit that like button if you have not. Keep smashing that like button. And again, do subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. We are live tomorrow for the Manchester United versus Southampton match preview. Will Varane start versus Southampton? Will Sancho start versus Southampton? What can Manchester United's lineup versus Southampton be? And more. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking all about United Southampton, how we could play, how I expect us to play, and more. And Sunday is a watch along, and then Monday is a transfer news update. So do stay tuned for that. And Dougie says everything is a business decision, not what's best for the club. And I agree with you there. Everything United do is a business decision, 100%. Yeah, says Ollie wants Jones to stay and give him a genuine chance. Well, I don't know what bloody drugs Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was on, if that is true. I don't know. I don't know what. Sometimes I look at Ollie and I go, you're an intelligent guy, Ollie. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a very intelligent guy. But if all us fans can see that Man United need a CDM and McFred isn't the answer and Phil Jones needs to be sold and that the youngsters have more future at the club than Mata and probably Dan James, why can't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer see it? Maybe he can see it. Maybe it's the owners blocking it and he has to work with what he's got. But if that is true, then I'm very, very worried about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is what happened when a club is run by bankers, exactly. And Arsenal slowly catching up on transfers. Alice, does it worry? But if you look at who Arsenal signed, Arsenal have spent nearly 150 million quid on Ramsdale. Is Ramsdale better than Leno? Really, probably the same, to be fair. Okay, they spent 50 million on Ben White. Is Ben White better than Gabriel Magalhaes? Probably not. Is Ben White better than Rob Holding? Probably a little bit, yeah. 50 million, though, for a slight improvement. They spent £80 million on Ben White and Ramsdale. I think £35 million on Odegaard is a good deal, to be fair to them. But 20 million on Lokonga, and they spent, 8 million on Lokonga and 20 million on Tavares. Arsenal have spent nearly 150 million, and I don't think their squad is that much stronger. A backup left back, they've got Tierney that's good. I've got a backup goalkeeper, Ben White and Odegaard. So for me, Ben White's the only new signing. Because is Ramsdale going to play? Is Lokonga going to play? Is Tavares going to play? They spent 150 million just to add Ben White to their squad from last season, who I don't think is that much better than Gabriel Magalhaes. So, yeah, I'm complaining about Manchester United and stuff, but at least Arsenal have gone out and spent more money than us. Arsenal spent more money than us, and they're not even in the Champions League. They don't get these Champions League funds as well. You've got to remember that. Arsenal have spent more money than Man United this window. And the reason we haven't signed a CDM is because we can't afford one. Because the reason we can't afford one is because we're keeping Daniel James, we're giving Mata new contracts, Grant a new contract. We will not sell Jesse Lingard. We can't sell Jones. We can't even get a sale for Pereira. We're only getting a loan deal. You know, Arsenal spent more money than us. Yes, Arsenal spent more money on crap. And look, I'd rather Manchester United not waste the money. I'd rather spend less money than do an Arsenal and spend more money on crap. But for me, I still look at it and go, come on, I would expect better from United. Guys, please do subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. By the way, we're 18 subscribers of 16.3k. We've got over 118 people watching. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching right now, please do subscribe. It will mean a lot. And any questions to me, pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to read out and reply to a lot of my questions in the live chat. It's going to be an interactive live stream. So again, any questions, get in the comments down below in the chat. Basuma is literally there. Basuma, £40 million. Sell Daniel James, sell Jesse Lingard, sign Basuma. Bing, bing, bong. But we're not going to do it. We're not even linked to the guy. We need to stop giving big wages to these players, 100%. I mean, Phil Jones, Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira, Daniel James on way too high wages. Matt is still on ridiculously high wages, and he's going to be a rotation player next year. And yes, so since Ollie has come in, we haven't made any stupid deals/contracts, apart from the Phil Jones 3-year one. But other than that, I think in the last year, we haven't really done any stupid deals, but we're still not run the best. Lee Grant deserves nothing at Manchester United, says Jonas, and I agree. And I just think, you know, United is just a mess. Sancho says only 129 watching and 64 likes. So, yeah, guys, please keep hitting that like button. Let's go for 150 likes. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. Niall Kane says, talking of Arsenal, to be fair, Ramsdale has been relegated twice at two clubs. Be funny if he signed for Arsenal and they got relegated, which is never going to happen with Arsenal. But you never know with Arsenal. This is the thing. Arsenal could be in the relegation zone for the first couple of games of the season, because unless Arsenal beat Man City and Chelsea, they're going to have 0 points from 3 games. But I'm sure Arsenal will make up for it. They spent 150 million. I mean, Villa spent 150 million and almost got relegated. But look, they came 8th. They spent 150 million. Hopefully, they can come 7th for them and all that. Reece says United will win the league. Look, if we sign the CDM, I believe we can win the league, but I just sit here and go, maybe if Man City fail to get Kane and Chelsea players flop, we can win the league. Ouch, just bashed my elbow. But I don't think we can win the league with McFred. If we sign a CDM, I believe we can win the league. Yes, we started the league well, but remember we beat Chelsea 4-0 on the opening day, and people were saying we're going to win the league. Then we were shocking. We dropped points to Southampton. We dropped points to, I think, Wolves. That's the thing with United as well. We should beat Southampton. I think Southampton are one of the favourites to get relegated. And I will talk a lot about the Southampton game in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to be showing you the lineup. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will play versus Southampton, and the lineup he should play, how he's going to use the squad. And tomorrow's video will be focused on the Southampton game. So make sure you subscribe for that, because again, we are 18 subscribers away from 16.3k, which would be awesome to hit. Manchester United are not a disgrace, but our owners are a disgrace. And not spending wisely. We are spending wisely, to be fair, but Arsenal aren't. And Lokonga very good. I take him at United on the bench. I mean, look, I'd probably take him as well, but that's because you've got fuck all in midfield. Dwight says, all fans around the world, we should put money together and buy our clubs from the Glazers. You know, that would be incredible because you think they've probably got a good 100 million fans. So I feel like if everyone put 10 million in, no, everyone put £1 in, that's 100 million. We'd have to put like 150 quid in each. A lot of fans would put money in. I mean, I wish we could do that, but I don't think it's possible. How the fuck is Ben White a good transfer? I don't think Ben White's. I think he's a good player. I think he's an alright player, but he's a 30. If he was £25 million, I say that's a decent deal. He's a £25 million player. Look, if Ben White was a Spanish guy from La Liga, he'd be 20 million quid. Let's not lie about it. Arsenal are falling down. You know, the banter Arsenal. Thank you, Reese, for liking and subscribing to the channel. Everything means a lot. And Yas says Ollie wasn't intern when we got Phil Jones to sign a 5-year contract. Woodward fucked up there. Ollie didn't. And you make a strong point there. I did forget about that. And Andrew says Arsenal have been more aggressive in the market in recent seasons, but they don't spend well. And I'm not worried about them. Arsenal are like United. I think the last 2-3 years we spent money, I could say, wisely. I think this summer transfer window we spent money wisely. I think when we do spend money, I don't think the last few transfer windows we bought anyone that's awful. I think we've overpaid for Maguire. I think we overpaid for Wan-Bissaka. I think they're good players. But before that, we used to spend money like Arsenal, absolute crap. And I think Arsenal just haven't, like, for me, it's not an Odegaard was already in their team. They've got a backup goalkeeper, a backup left back, a player on the bench, and Ben White, and they spent 150 million for that. But I'm mad at the board. I'm mad at Manchester United's board. I'm mad at Manchester United's owners. I think the fact that we haven't managed to sell Pereira, we only got a loan deal. The fact that we've given Mata and Grant new contracts. The fact that we can't sell Lingard, we can't sell Jones, and we now won't buy a midfielder because we can't sell any more players, I think is a disgrace. But I sit here and I just think, like, at least we're spending money wisely, at least we're not Arsenal. That's what I think. And by the way, people think I'm calling Man United a disgrace. I'm calling our owners a disgrace. Yarg says if we don't get a CDM this season, we're going big next season, and I mean big. I think next season will be Erling Haaland time. I really do. I have a feeling we're going to go all out for Erling Haaland next season. I think, you know, it looks more and more likely that Man City are going to get Kane, and I generally expect United to go in a Haaland race next season. But the worrying thing is because we might spend £75 million on Erling Haaland, are we going to say, oh, that's our window done, shut it off, and not get a CDM next window and neglect that position for one more season? Hopefully not. But United have neglected the CDM position for pretty much every season since Carrick retired. You know, last season we were saying we needed a CDM. We all knew we needed a CDM last season. The season before we said we need a CDM. Herrera's gone. We need to replace Herrera. The CDM before that was saying, I feel like we need a CDM, you know. I don't know if we can get... Like, we've needed a CDM for the last couple of seasons. And you know what, United, like, next summer, are we going to be saying we need a CDM? Imagine James and Sancho up front. I'm sorry, sorry for Sancho to be sincere. I think Sancho and Dan James, like, if we played about 5 as like 2 pacey attackers could possibly work. And Colby says, if clubs become fan earns, how do United afford big transfers and wages? And that again is well, actually, without the Glazers have no money. It's one of them. And Yash says, Ollie, yeah, I read out that comment and all of that. Marcus Rashford's overrated. Yet Marcus Rashford is not overrated. Yes, he ended the season badly, but this guy is putting up over 30 goal contributions for 2 seasons in a row with an injury. Marcus Rashford is not overrated. If you watch Man United and you watch them at the start of the season, if you watch Man United at the start of last season, and then you watched Rashford before he got injured, Rashford was world class. He actually looked world class. So Rashford's not overrated. He's just inconsistent. Jakadala, if that's how you say your name, says, the problem is the contracts that we've tied to most players, e.g. Jones, Henderson, etc. We can't sell them, so we'll have to wait out their contracts. I think they've learned from their mistakes. Hopefully. I thought they learned from their mistakes. Then we gave Eric Bailly a contract. Should we have given Eric Bailly a contract? Because, you know, with Varane coming in, isn't Lindelof going to be back up? You know, should we have given Eric Bailly a contract as well, though? Have we learned, though? Because I like Eric Bailly, and he's always been a good player, but with his injury record, was that worth all of that? Phil Jones, 10-year record, 3.5 years played, and the rest injured. Yeah, that. And we given this guy a 5-year deal 2 years ago. Honestly, United will sign a CDM and Haaland next summer. I hope you are correct. Ideally, I'd like us to sign a CDM this summer because I think that is the missing piece of the puzzle. But next summer, I do believe that we could get Haaland next summer. And obviously, we're not going to have any Haaland news till maybe come Christmas. But I believe we could go in for Haaland. I think especially if Man City get Kane, I think we are the strongest Premier League team in the race for Haaland. Almost at 100 likes, guys. So yeah, keep hitting that like button. We're on the road to 100 likes. And as I've said before on this video, if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do go ahead and subscribe down below. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be live tomorrow night for a transfer news update, by the way, and I'm also going to be live Sunday for a Watch On versus Southampton match reaction. There'll be a video out Monday. There'll be a transfer live stream Monday night. I'm going to be live pretty much most evenings this week, so please do subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Yug says, first 7 games, United need to win all of them because they are not in the top 4. Then we will probably top of the league and then in a good spot. Yeah, we don't want to be in a top 4 race this season. We want to be in an actual title race. And to be in a title race, we can't afford to drop points to teams like Wolves, Southampton, Newcastle. And look, our first game we beat Leeds. We've now got Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle, West Ham, Aston Villa, and Everton. They're our next 7 games. And to be fair, I don't think Everton look great this season. I don't think they look as strong. Villa, they've lost Grealish. West Ham, I think with Europe catching up to them. I think these first 7 games, we should get 21 points for. But United that will be in the top 4 race will get maybe 15 points out of 21 and will have a loss and a silly draw to a team like Newcastle. If we want to be in a title race, we need 3 points versus Southampton, 3 points versus Wolves, 3 points versus Newcastle, 3 points versus West Ham, 3 points versus Villa, 3 points versus Everton. Because after those 7 games, we've got a really hard run. We've got Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, City, a break with Watford, then Chelsea, you know. So we really need to make sure that we can get 24 points out of 24 come start of the season. So at least when we go from Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City, 4 games in a row, at least we go, okay, if we get 6 out of 12 points from those games, we're still in a good position because that is 4 hard games in a row. You have then a break with Watford, then you go straight to Chelsea, straight to Arsenal. Like, the fixture list is very, very weird. We get a lot of easy games and a lot of hard games. This guy says, I want to see Bayer as a destroyer at CDM, but knowing his injury records probably won't happen. The thing is, people talk about Lindelof maybe trying out CDM, but I think out of all the players that could play CDM for Manchester United, I'm like Tuanzebe. I feel like could have maybe done a job there, but we didn't obviously get the chance to see it. But I think Tuanzebe could have maybe done a job there. By the way, guys, we are 15 subscribers away from 16.3k, and we've got over 100 people watching. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. I need 15 more of you to subscribe, and then we'll hit 16.3k. And it'd be awesome if we could hit that in the live stream. By the way, Dortmund have put a Haaland contract up from 75 million to 88 million next summer, and that is true, which is frustrating. And yes, as we might need to get Goretzka next season if he doesn't sign a new contract at Bayern. If Goretzka free agent, will we be able to get him? I think if Paul Pogba goes on a free, maybe we could get Goretzka on a free, but you never know. Rishab says Arsenal's problem is that they can't attract big name players. They can't even think about getting Varane, so they have to spend more money to buy Ben White. And you make a good point. I think with Arsenal, Ben White could be a good signing for a club like Arsenal because they know realistically they can't get Varane. However, I think Christian Romero to Tottenham is a lot better player than Ben White to Arsenal and a lot better deal. And I think Tottenham are in a similar position to Arsenal, where Tottenham are a little bit better than Arsenal, but Tottenham, I think, have invested money more wisely than Arsenal. If Sancho does not perform in the Premier League, maybe Haaland will flop. Look at Haaland's numbers in the Champions League. Like, that's all I'm going to say about Haaland. He's a world-class player. He'll only flop if the Man United system doesn't suit him, aka he gets no service. Sergio says the Glazers don't care about winning anything. The same reason they didn't go for Conte. Chelsea are the new Man United, and they will thrash us. I agree that the Glazers don't care about winning anything. The only good thing about the Glazers is they do care about top 4. Because top 4 equals revenue for the Glazers. And I don't want to be a top 4 club. I want to be a Premier League winning club. But Arsenal are no longer a top 4 club. So, but yeah, 100% agree. Alan says Manchester United fan billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe unfortunately turned down the chance to be owner. I did not know that. Does that mean Lingard, Pereira, and Jones has power than Ollie? Well, if they've got it's up, they can choose if they want to leave or not. Phil Jones could get an offer from Newcastle, and Newcastle could say to him, "You're going to be our captain, play week in, week out, but you're going to have to take a wage cut of 20. You got instead of earning 90 grand a week, you got to earn 70 grand a week." And Phil Jones will go, "No, I'd rather be in the medical room." That's the problem, because United are idiots that are giving people like Phil Jones just ridiculous wages. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, by the way, guys. As I've said a lot of times on the live stream, 15 subscribers away from 16.3k. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Yasha's buy is good till he gets injured. Could sell him next summer for 20 million plus use Tuanzebe. I think so. But I really hope Tuanzebe has a really good loan spell at Villa. Hopefully we can sell Eric Bailly. We're not going to use him this summer. I think he's a player that we could have got 20 million for. I think Inter were willing to offer 20 million for Eric Bailly, and then we gave him a new contract and then signed Varane. And I'm like, you play Lindelof over Bailly, and now you've got Varane. And is Bailly even going to get minutes? Lou Manu says, Alice, if you had the money to buy any club, would you go for Man United? Of course, it's the team I love, it's the team I support. If I brought Man United, I'd be buying Ndidi right now. I'd be saying, Ollie, do you want Ndidi? He'll go, yeah, because if he says no, if Ollie says no, I don't want Ndidi, I'm happy with Fred, then I would sack him. If as Man United owner, I'd be like, well, you're deluded, and I'd go buy Ndidi right now to the squad. Predicted 11 versus Southampton. I will be talking about this in tomorrow's video, and I'll get the visuals up for the match preview tomorrow. But De Gea in goal. I know issues with Wan-Bissaka, but he'll start. You know, Wan-Bissaka had issues and started versus PSG and pocketed Neymar and Mbappe. Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw was the fullbacks. I think it will be Maguire and Lindelof just because Varane only started training this week. I think it will be Fred, but I would like to see Matic and Donny. I think it will be Bruno. I think it will be Greenwood. I do think it will be Sancho over Dan James. I think it will be stupid if Ollie played Dan James in this game, because I'm like, you brought Sancho for £72 million and he's now been with you long enough. And then bada bing, bada boom, money mace up top with Cavani on the bench, possibly come on, Varane on the bench, possibly come on as well. I would like Rafael Varane to start because I think Southampton's a very, very good game for him to get minutes, especially because they're not the toughest opposition in the world. So I would really like Varane to start. What's that Wan-Bissaka of possible 6 months in prison news? Look, at the end of the day, he's a footballer. He's got a lot of money. He probably won't be behind bars. Unless you're a murderer, unless you're a nonce. If you're a footballer, you get away with a lot. And at the end of the day, when people ask me about this Wan-Bissaka issue in his car, yeah, he's a bit of an idiot. Yeah, he needs to behave better. Yeah, this isn't the first or second scandal Wan-Bissaka has got in. But at the end of the day, I don't care what these footballers do in their free time. I don't care if Wayne Rooney cheats with Colleen Rooney. It's a bit sad for Colleen Rooney and the kids. You know, like with that situation, I don't care what these footballers do when they're not playing football. As long as they're not a nonce, and as long as they're not a murderer or an absolute psycho, I don't care as long as they play good on the pitch, in my opinion. And I think Wan-Bissaka will, you know, I think there won't be any issues there. No, Haaland will want to come to us. We're not ambitious enough. Glazers out. Are we, you know, could Haaland see Manchester United as the club he doesn't want to come to because they're not ambitious enough? Because they're a top 4 club now, not a winning club. And, you know, especially next year, if we go 6 years without a trophy, it would be harder to lure Haaland in. Not real for Pucci. Romano says getting Haaland completely depends on Pogba's situation with Man United as they share the same agent. Possibly, but I don't know there. Jonas says buy Ruben Neves or Sal Niguez. Don't waste time on CAMAVINGA. And you know what? I somewhat agree with that now. CAMAVINGA was my first choice, but the more and more time that goes on and the less and less interest CAMAVINGA is showing this Man United deal and this Man United offer, I go, well, CAMAVINGA doesn't really want us. And if CAMAVINGA doesn't want us, then, you know, there's no point in us going for him. By the way, guys, we are now 12 subscribers away from 16.3Ks. So make sure you do keep hitting that like button. Make sure you do keep subscribing down below and all of that. I need 12 more of you to subscribe so we can hopefully hit 16.3K, and hopefully the Wi-Fi, the bars are coming up again. Hopefully the Wi-Fi isn't being awful this stream, and all of that. But we're on 108 likes, so let's push for 150 likes. And Steve says he sees Haaland staying at Dortmund for at least a year. Haaland will stay at Dortmund this year, but next summer when his release clause comes into place, I tell you what, there'll be a lot of teams willing to pay that release clause, and I don't think Haaland would choose to stay at Dortmund. I think when a lot of teams pay that release clause and all of that. And Donny plus Matic in the pivot versus Southampton equals 9-0 win. I would love to see Donny and Matic in the pivot versus Southampton. But when we beat Southampton 9-0, you know, McTominay got a player sent off. It was McFred in the pivot that started versus Southampton last season. I go, look, McFred started versus Leeds last season. McFred started versus Southampton last season. McFred are going to start whether we like it or not. Do I want McFred to start? No. Are they going to start? Yes. Should Donny and Matic start this game? Yes, because they were good in pre-season. They haven't done anything wrong. So, yeah. Haaland is not flopping anywhere. I can see him scoring wherever he goes. He does it in the Champions League. I can't see him flop. Sancho played well against Burnley. I didn't obviously watch the game because it was behind closed doors, but from what I heard, Sancho did play well. And Steve says, man, you can't get that Kazakhstan team in the Champions League since they're now in the Conference League. They could play Spurs. They should make the group stage. Their 4-1 win in their first away leg. I remember we went to Astana. That was like basically going to Asia. Well, it is technically Asia, isn't it? Lou Manu says, one day Phil Jones will come back as our CDM and destroy positions attack. You know what? My dream, look, I slag off Phil Jones a lot, but if Phil Jones just turns into Ndidi at CDM or or prime Carrick or prime Roy Keane becomes a boss at CDM, then I'm more than happy to have Phil Jones at the club. For some reason, my brain believes that Phil Jones isn't going to turn into the CDM that we need at the club. Andrew says our board makes no sense. We kept Rojo Romero longer than we should have, refusing lower offers yet paying their wages, which costs more. Bayer and Jones deals not much better. I agree. And how must Van der Beek leave from Man United for his career? I love Van der Beek, and Van der Beek for me is the second best midfielder we got after Pogba. Well, obviously it goes Bruno, Pogba, Van der Beek. Van der Beek's better than Fred. Van der Beek's better than Matic. And Van der Beek can play in the pivots. And the more and more I see Van der Beek on the bench, I'm worried. Now I'm hoping that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will take a leaf out of Pep Guardiola's book, a Premier League winner, and Thomas Tuchel's book, a Champions League winner, and see that they rotate their midfield a lot and actually do a little bit of rotation with Donny and Matic. But we'll have to wait and see. Steve says, is there any players who played against Leeds you won't play against in the next game? I wouldn't play Daniel James. I'd play Sancho instead. And personally, myself, I'd play Donny and Matic over McFred, but I think he won't. There is a small part of me, though. I'm not going to lie. You know, Donny and Matic played versus Wolves last game of the season and played really, really well. And you know what Ollie's like? He's like, well, this worked versus Leeds last season. It's going to work versus Leeds now. I could see Donny and Matic playing Leeds and Southampton. No, sorry. McFred playing versus Leeds, which they did, and McFred playing versus Southampton, which they did. But because Donny and Matic worked versus Wolves last game of the season, now I know it was against Nuno, it's a different manager now. I could see Ollie maybe giving Donny and Matic a game in the Wolves game and maybe rotating the squad then. However, if we go to the Wolves game and the first 3 games of the season, McFred has started in midfield, and let's say McFred don't play well versus Southampton or play well versus Wolves, then that's when you've got to put the questions on Ollie of, has he learnt from last season? Is he going to rotate the squad? If you're not going to give Donny a chance, you could have got 13 million for him. Why is he kept at the squad? I think that's when you've got to put your questions on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah, any questions for me, guys, please do pop them down below in the live chat, and make sure you are subscribed to Alice Talks if you're not subscribed already. We're on the road to 16.3k. We're 10 subscribers away now, guys. 10 subscribers away from 16.3k. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe down below. Click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We're also 32 likes away from 150 likes. So please do make sure you hit that like button as well. Yeah, any questions for me, pop them down below in the live chat. I am going to read out a couple of live chats. This guy says, I'm still worried about Van der Beek because I don't know if he'll get field time, as Pogba played exceptionally in the first game. Felt bad for Van der Beek if he don't get field time. I think he should leave Red Devils. I think Van der Beek's too good to be sitting on the bench. I think Van der Beek could easily start for a top 4 Premier League club. I've said this before. I think if Van der Beek was at Manchester City, he would be playing a lot. I generally think if Van der Beek was at Manchester City, he would be playing a lot. I think it would be Rodri, Van der Beek, Kevin De Bruyne as midfield 3, and he'd be rotating he'd be rotating Van der Beek with Gundogan. I think he really would. I think Pep Guardiola would be rotating Van der Beek with Gundogan. I think Pep Guardiola would start Van der Beek at least 20 of the 38 games that Manchester City play if Van der Beek was at Manchester City. And I think Ollie is completely not horrible, but like unfair. It's been very, very unfair on Van der Beek. So yeah. Amad Diallo could end up at Sheffield United now to get more game time. I still want Amad Diallo to go to Crystal Palace. I think he's too good for the Championship. I don't want to see Amad Diallo in the Championship. I think with Eze's injury, I think at Crystal Palace, I think he would be good for. I think Amad Diallo would be good for Crystal Palace. I do hope he goes to Crystal Palace. Again, as Andrew says, please do like and subscribe on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Most importantly, on the road to 17,000 subscribers. We are 9 subscribers away from the target of 16.3k before the end of the live stream. So please do go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. 9 of you to subscribe. If you just joined the live stream and you want to hear about transfer news, Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic says that Manchester United have now made a big 400k a week offer for Paul Pogba, but he's not yet responded as well. So that's the first news story coming in. It's been confirmed that we don't have any interest in Tchouaméni from Fabrizio Romano, and that Manchester United are unlikely to make any more summer transfer signings. Again, that has been said by Laurie Whitwell, not Laurie Whitwell, Samuel Luckhurst of the Manchester Evening News. And all of that. Obviously, Varane and Pogba in training, more pictures of Varane in training and Varane doing media interviews, which is what we love to see. And the preference for Amad Diallo is to go on loan to a Premier League side. So as Diego was saying, although Sheffield United are interested, I think Amad Diallo would rather go to Crystal Palace and just, get their minutes in and all of that. Ndidi or Rice? Me and Ndidi, but I think Rice is more realistic at the moment. And what's a pivot when we play 2 CDMs? Most top teams play 1 holding player and 2 box-to-box. We play 2 holding players and Bruno. And you got to remember, Bruno plays so well with McFred behind him. Imagine Bruno with Matic and Donny behind him. I think Bruno would play even better. Here's the play. 110 million this summer for Haaland and loaning him back to Dortmund for the season. Only reason they'll set the bid is because of loan, eliminate the competition and entice Pogba. You know what? Like, we won't do that. But to be fair, if you went to Dortmund, well, you're going to lose him for 80 million next year. How about we buy him for 110 million now, meaning you're going to have him for another year anyway, but you're just going to get 30 million more. Then, because you know what, in a weird way, it's bad business from us because it's like, okay, you could have got him in a year's time, but it is smart play, to be fair. It would be a win-win for Dortmund because they're going to lose him anyway, and it's like, well, you're going to lose him for 30 million less, and you're going to get him for another year. So, yeah, definitely. But United won't do it. We don't have the money for that. But that would if we had top owners, that could be a crazy play. Hi, Alice. Do you think Man United will start Van der Beek against Southampton? I would personally, if I was Ollie, but I don't think Ollie will. Benching Sancho and Varane for James and Lindelof is like buying a Ferrari and choosing a Ford for a drive. It literally is. I think Sancho definitely has to start. I think one of the thing with Varane is he could say Varane hasn't trained with us long enough. But then Donny van der Beek's been training with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer all summer, and so has Matic, and playing well in pre-season. When Fred and McTominay have not been involved in pre-season, and then they start first game of the season. So for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't say he's starting Lindelof because Lindelof's been with him longer and trained longer, because you started Fred over Donny and Matic, even though they train longer and were with you longer. But I think Sancho has to start, and I think he should start Varane, but I don't know if he will because Varane hasn't been in training for a week by then. That would have been a week that Varane's been in training, but hopefully I would start Varane because I think that's a good game to start Varane, and you want to build up momentum in Varane before we get to those hard games, because when we're playing those big top 6 games, we want Varane at the back. So yeah, Diallo and Palestri are future prospects 100%, and one of my issues with keeping Mata and Dan James was that I believe there's a future in Diallo and Palestri, and I'd almost rather see Diallo and Palestri come off the bench for Manchester United than players like Daniel James and players like Juan Mata. My Wi-Fi is playing up again, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen with you guys, because I can tell my Wi-Fi is playing that I'm going to be shit card. So if I share my screen here, hopefully the Wi-Fi will just become a better quality for the video. And one more thing, a banner off. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I'm back with you. There we go. Sorry, I feel like my Wi-Fi was playing up a little bit there. The Van der Beek situation is perplexing. He was one of the most coveted young CDM centre mids before we signed him, and now he can't get a look under Ollie. Hope that changes. Exactly. And I think that's why a lot of people out there don't want to. I think that's why a lot of people out there don't want us to get CAMAVINGA, because they worry that CAMAVINGA, he's like a Bellingham, one of the top prospects in world football. Will Ollie even give them a chance? I think. Guys, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're not subscribed to the channel, and of course, hit that like button. We're on the road to 16.3k subscribers. We are currently 8 subscribers away from 16.3k. We've got over 100 people watching. We need 8 of you, 100 people watching, to subscribe. I'm sure 8 of you watching are not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe for daily Manchester United content. I do live streams where I interact with you guys, talk about Manchester United talking points, and update you on Manchester United news every day. If we sign a player this summer transfer window, I will be live. If we sell a player this summer transfer window, I'll be live. So if we sign a player, close to signing a player, any breaking news that comes out, there will be a live stream to update you guys on it. So we'll talk all things United topics. We'll be talking about matches we're playing, games, reactions, but we'll also be talking about transfer news. So do go ahead and make sure to subscribe for that. We need 8 more of you to subscribe so we can hit 16.3k before the end of the window. Jesse, talking to Wan-Bissaka, says, Wan-Bissaka got burnt out at the end of the last season. Ollie should rotate with Dalot a lot early in the season, so he's rested for the end of the season. I agree. I think Ollie should maybe think about rotating Dalot a little bit now as well, while we've got these easier games, because we want Wan-Bissaka to pocket Sterling and Grealish versus City. We're going to want Wan-Bissaka versus Liverpool to pocket Mane, because we know Wan-Bissaka is a big game player. Whether you like Wan-Bissaka or not, he's a big game player. And the opening 8 games, if Wan-Bissaka plays all those minutes, he's going to be tired by them big games. So I would definitely think about maybe incorporating Dalot in for maybe Newcastle, and just saying, you know what, we're going to give Wan-Bissaka a week off, or even go Wan-Bissaka, we're not going to involve you in the Champions League game. You know what, we'll give Dalot a go in the Champions League, because let's say we draw someone easy at the Champions League. Mega Controller says, how good do you think Greenwood could get? Would he be as good as Neymar or Lewandowski, or would it be on the level of Benzema, Cavani? I think Greenwood could be a Rooney. I think he could be that top level. I think, you know, only Greenwood and like Best have scored this many goals for Man United at a certain age. You know, for what Mason Greenwood's doing at his age, and for how good he is and how advanced and complete and mature he is, Greenwood, I think, will be better than Rashford in the next year. I think we'll be saying Greenwood's better than Rashford because I love Rashford, but I think Greenwood, in terms of finishing, weak foot, intelligence, he's just naturally so talented. And I think, you know, if Greenwood continues to work hard, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rates Greenwood, and he's got a good squad to play with. If he gets the service, he continues to work hard. I think Greenwood could be a Rooney. I think he could be the club's top scorer. I think I'm a big fan of Greenwood. Greenwood is my favourite Manchester United player. I am Greenwood's biggest admirer because I believe that, you know, in 3 years' time, everyone will be saying, okay, Greenwood is better than Saka. Greenwood is better than Foden. Because I believe right now, Greenwood is better than Foden and Saka. But, you know, if you say that, you get called deluded because Saka and, you know, Foden got taken to the Euros. That means fuck all. Wan-Bissaka didn't get taken to the Euros. I think Wan-Bissaka's good. I rate Greenwood so much. I think he could be a top player for Manchester United. Keep smashing the like buttons. Let's go for 150 likes by the end of the live stream. And this guy says, what's your view on Juve signing Locatelli? I think we all knew what's going to happen. I would take him at United, but he's a good signing. But he says, this signing could save them because Allegri rate him highly and Juve's looking for a CM. I think it's a very, very good signing. I think it's very, very good value for money, and I would have taken him at Manchester United in a heartbeat. You know what makes me laugh, actually, is that Arsenal fans were saying that we're talking about Grealish to Arsenal, Lautaro Martinez to Arsenal, Locatelli to Arsenal, Maddison to Arsenal, and they've ended up with Ramsdale, Ben White, Tavares, re-getting Odegaard, and Lokonga. I know, I love to banter Arsenal, but that always makes me laugh. Lingard's rumoured to start on it. What, you're going to start Lingard ahead of Sancho when you spent 72 million on Sancho? What drugs is Oli on? Mate, there's either two reasons he's starting Lingard. He's starting Lingard because he wants him to have a good game and West Ham to hurry up and buy him. Or he's starting Lingard because he doesn't trust his £72 million signing Sancho, which would be a joke. The thing about Lingard is he plays well every pre-season. He trains really hard. He gets his chance in the first team and he's always shit. So hopefully that's not true. Varane can be good player at Man U. I agree. I think Varane, I hope he starts versus Southampton, but I don't think he will. If Varane doesn't start versus Wolves, though, I'll be very, very disappointed in Ollie. I'd like to see versus Wolves, Varane come in for Lindelof, Donny and Matic come in for McFred, and Sancho definitely start. Because if they don't start versus Wolves, then you go into the international break losing them, and then it's like, so they're not going to start a game before the international break. Lingard won't make the squad, let alone start. I think Lingard will make the squad, but I think it would be weird if he started. The Glazers won't sell the club unless they get $4 billion, and who the fuck's going to pay that? What's the latest on Tchouaméni? Fabrizio Romano says that United aren't interested in him as of now. I mean, that could change, but right now, nothing going on with Tchouaméni and all of that. And you can't sell if teams aren't willing to pay. Ollie has cleared a lot of deadwood from the team. We are in time for financial crisis football after all. I think it is a difficult time to sell players because of COVID and the financial crisis, but I think, you know, if they can get 30 million for Joe Willock and 40 million for Tammy Abrahams, why can't we get 20 million for a Jesse Lingard that was arguably the most informed player in the Premier League come the end of the season? Makes me laugh. England international, technically. Man City have Gundo, Rodri, Silva, Mahrez, Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, Grealish, Fernandinho, Chelsea have Sieg and Jorginho. They have so much depth, don't they? Andrew says, if Greenwood keeps up the hard work and commitment, the sky is the limit. I hope Mason's development eliminates the need to spend huge at number 9. Yeah, imagine if Mason has a massive season at number 9, scores 30 or goals. Yeah, we'd love Haaland and all of that, but that would be Man City greediness. Then that would give us all that time to focus on the CDM. Guys, we are six subscribers away from 16.3k. It'd be absolutely awesome if we could try and hit that by the end of today's live stream. So please, if you're not subscribed, please do go ahead and subscribe down below. I need 6 more of you to subscribe because, by the way, if you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, here's why to subscribe. Daily Manchester United content, daily United updates. I'm going to be live tomorrow for a Man United versus Southampton match preview. So if you want to stay up to date with the Man United Southampton match preview and all of that, make sure you are subscribed down below. We'll talk a lot about the Southampton game in tomorrow's match preview. We're going to be live on Sunday for a watch-along match reaction, live on Monday for some more transfer news updates. Will we sign any more players? If we're going to sign another player this summer, I'll be live to let you know. If we're close to signing another player this summer, I'll be live to let you know. So do make sure you subscribe for all of that. Sancho says, Alice, do you think McTominay and Fred will play a lot this season? Won't be like Fred played when they play separately, Fred doing more of a holding job. I think come start of the season, we'll see a lot of McFred, but I think when the Champions League starts, we need to rotate, and when Varane starts playing over Lindelof, we will see less of McFred, because I do think McFred plays to protect Maguire and Lindelof. I think with Varane, and we don't need as much protection at centre-back, so if we have Varane and we're still playing McFred for protection, I would be a little bit disappointed in Ollie. Please do subscribe, guys. We need 5 more of you to subscribe, and then we hit 16.3k, so please do subscribe to the channel. As you can see on my screen here, just showing you a little bit of disappointing news coming in, but you know, we can go through our tweets. Best wishes there to Dennis Law. Something good that Manchester City have done there. As again, Fabrizio Romano confirmed, we are not working to sign Tchouameni from AS Monaco this summer. No direct talks. All of that. Wan-Bissaka in a little bit of trouble, and obviously Monster Greenwood coming up. But a little bit of news here, and this was a tweet I saw earlier, which I thought was a really, really good tweet. So I'm going to put this on the screen. You know, this is why I'm angry that we haven't signed a CDM, because I could see this happening. Imagine Man United finished only a couple points behind first, knowing that if they adjust the whole gapping hole in our midfield, we would have been champions. And I think that's a very, very good tweet there. Any questions for me, please do get them down below in the live chat. We are in the final 5 minutes of today's live stream, so go ahead, get those questions in. And again, I'm 5 subscribers away from 16.3k, so it'd be absolutely amazing if you guys could hit that subscribe button. You know, I'm going to keep you updated on all the transfer news in these last 2-3 weeks of the transfer window. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, because we've got a week and a half left of the transfer window, and I'm going to be updating you every day. And if there's any relevant updates, I will let you guys know. So keep smashing that like button, as Niall Kane says. And Trevor says, well, Bentancur is a good player, but Juventus defence sucks badly, and McKinney is not absolutely kind of good CM like Pjanic was good at Juve. Yeah, I think Locatelli's a good signing for Juventus. They've got an aging defence. They've got what do you call him? Delict. How's Delict like at Juventus? Because I don't watch them much. This guy says, I think the Man United women's team are beginning to have more appeal and interest than the rest of the club. We can actually win a transfer window with that team. That'd be good. It'd be nice if the women's team won something as well. And yeah, hopefully Varane will see more of Donny. I do think when Varane starts to start, we will see a little bit more of players like Donny van der Beek. I think we will. This tweet made me laugh, yeah. So this is Arsenal. This was Arsenal's expectation for the window. Martinez, Maddison, Grealish, Buendia. They didn't get any of them. You got Ramsdale and Ben White. When you thought Arsenal are really banter FC. Arsenal are banter FC. But yeah, shame to hear the news about Dennis Law as well. Just showing you a few of my Twitter likes. Big up Paul Pogba. You know, going through Alice's Twitter now. I want to show you that video, but I don't want to get my thing taken now. There's a really good video of Wan-Bissaka. More news on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there. Not that no one really cares, because he's not going to win it. United is still after Trippier. Honestly, I don't think we're going to go for Trippier. I think Delo's going to stay. Is John Murtough an improvement on Woodward? I think it is an improvement on Woodward, considering he got Varane and Sancho for a reasonable price. But I still think there's issues with the club. Yes, he might have been an improvement on Woodward, but my mum would have been an improvement on Woodward, and she doesn't watch football. You know, I think that's the situation as well. Ramsdale and Ben White. I mean, my live streams do turn into Let's Banter Arsenal time. I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit Let's Banter Arsenal time. By the way, guys, if you just joined the live stream, do 2 things. Like, do another thing, subscribe. And a third thing, what we've been talking about in today's video, we've been talking about the owners at Manchester United. Despite signing Sancho and Varane, it's still obvious that there's big problems with this club, and big problems about how this club is run. You know, not being able to sell anyone. Like, we could only get Pereira on a loan, not a permanent deal. Offering Grant and Mata new deals, not selling the likes of Daniel James, Jesse Lingard, possibly starting Jesse Lingard over Jadon Sancho at the weekend. News coming in, you know, not being able to sell Phil Jones. There's still problems at Manchester United. You know, this club is still run by idiots, despite signing Sancho and Varane, and we cannot let them distract us from that. We'll also be talking about how other clubs can sell, so it can't always be due wages. We're bantering how Arsenal spent nearly £150 million on trash. We're talking about how Fabrizio Romano and Samuel Luck has confirmed that Tchouaméni to Man United will probably not happen this summer, as we haven't expressed any interest. The Athletic say, and Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic, a Tier 1 journalist, says that Manchester United have offered Paul Pogba a £400,000 a week contract offer that he hasn't responded to yet. And the situation right now is, if we don't sell anyone, we won't be signing anyone. And the only player that we might get this summer, I'm feeling like, could be CAMAVINGA if he chooses us, but he hasn't chosen us. So we're looking more and more likely that we're not going to sign a player this summer. And the Manchester even knew Samuel Luck, again, is a pretty decent journalist, says that he doesn't believe that Man United are going to sign anyone else this summer. And it's like, you know, we know we want a midfielder, but we only get a midfielder if Lingard goes, and is Lingard going to go? And then there's also news about Wan-Bissaka getting in trouble. But that is the situation for all of you joining. Tottenham losing 1-0 in the Conference League. Will Tottenham get knocked out if they lose, by the way? I feel like Tottenham could get knocked out if they lose. Am I like being an idiot? Spurs. According to Google, they're not giving me the score for the Tottenham game. That's annoying. What about Tchouaméni? Like, we're not in for him. Apparently, we're not in for him. We're not in for him. We're not in for him. We can't do anything. By the way, guys, we are now 3 subscribers away from 16.3k. 3 subscribers away, and you know, let's see if 3 of you guys can subscribe before the end of this live stream, so we can hit 16.3k. That would be massively appreciated. We've got a couple minutes left of today's live stream, so keep getting any questions you have for me down below in the live chat. You've got a couple minutes left to get any questions for me down below in the live chats. Views on Ramsey getting closer to Mbappe, so who will be the replacement of Mbappe in PSG? What? They've got Messi. They've got Messi. That's where they're probably selling Mbappe. So, you know, how do you rate Man U's defensive midfield? I rate the defence line of Varane, Maguire, Shaw, and Wan-Bissaka. I think that's solid. I'm happy with that. Don't rate McFred. I want a CDM. So I rate the defence. I don't really rate the midfield. But thanks for the comments, Steve. And as you said earlier, this is the depth that Man City and Chelsea have compared to ours. But he says, why should we sell players? Because do you think that Wan Mata is the level of Ziyech, Kai, Havertz, Mount, Kovacic, Kante, Pulisic, Jorginho? Like, all the players you've listed are good players. You know, if you're listing Mata and Daniel James in the list of Man United players, they're not that level, and that's why I think we should be selling them. Bad time to be a Man United fan. It's not been a great day for United, and someone taking a piss. Ollie shouldn't be allowed coaching badges. Look, I'm not. Again, Ollie will get criticism, but we beat Leeds. This is a new season. It's a fresh start. If Ollie rotates the squad, if he gives Van der Beek a chance, if he makes his subs earlier, if he plays attacking football, if we have a good season, I will be Ollie in. So for me, it's all about winning a trophy and Ollie learning from his mistakes, learning that McFred, he can't play them week in, week out and tire out Bruno Fernandes. He needs to rotate. He needs to make subs earlier. He needs to risk winning games. So, yeah, 8 likes away from 150 likes. So, guys, please do hit that like button. 8 likes away from 150 likes. And we are now 1 subscriber away from 16.3k. We need 1 more of you to subscribe and we'll be on 16.3k. And then I will end the live stream. Now we've hit 16.3k. But thank you everybody for tuning into today's live stream. Thank you for everybody that got involved in the live chat and all of that. Any questions for me that I did not answer, please pop them down below in tomorrow's video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be live again tomorrow night, so make sure you are subscribed, because tomorrow is the Manchester United versus Southampton match preview. So thanks everyone for tuning in today's live stream. Before you leave, hit that like button, subscribe down below. I'm sorry if I was unable to answer any live chats you have for me. I will answer a lot more live chats in tomorrow's video. So any questions you have for me that I didn't answer in today's video, I will answer in tomorrow's live stream. So do pop them in the live chat in tomorrow's live stream. I will try and answer them. But yes, thanks everyone for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, put the bell notification on, and I will try and answer lots of questions in tomorrow's live stream. The Man United versus Southampton match preview, and then we will be live again on Sunday for the Manchester United versus Southampton watch along. I generally cannot wait for the Southampton game. I'm so excited for the Southampton game. So thanks everybody who was in the live chat. Thanks everybody contributing in the live chat. Thank you everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, share. See you next time. Be live tomorrow night. Bye.